Lindsay Lohan's mother, Dina, tells OK Magazine today that despite being hospitalized with breathing trouble, her daughter is doing well, saying, quote, "I don't think people understand how truly terrifying it is to have an asthma attack." Hospitalized. 19-year-old Lindsay Lohan collapsed and was admitted to Miami's Mount Sinai Medical Center Monday night amidst a severe asthma attack.
Happy New Year, Actress Holly.
We were with Lindsay on New Year's Eve as she partied with her mother inside Miami's Privé, really letting loose. She even jumped behind the DJ booth. And earlier that day, while sunbathing on the beach with her little sister, to the delight of many a spectator, Lindsay walked towards her hotel, surrounded by adoring paparazzi. As revealed in this candid Vanity Fair interview, asthma has plagued Lindsay since she was 2 years old. And according to Dr. Len Horowitz, Lindsay's smoking can only make matters worse.
Any chemical irritant, especially cigarette smoke, is bad for an asthmatic.
This is not Lohan's first hospitalization, and she told Billy of her 2004 hospital stay that asthma was only part of the problem.
I was tired. I was having a bunch of asthma attacks that led up to that. And there was just, I was going through a time when I was just overscheduling myself and not taking the time for myself. And instead of resting sometimes, I would want to go out and hang out with my friends and go to a club, which probably wasn't the best thing to do.
When she got out of the hospital after shooting Herbie, she had lost 15 pounds.
Vanity Fair's Evgenia Peretz spent several days with Lindsay and learned more about the star's shrinking act.
She liked how she looked, and she continued to lose weight, and part of that included some bulimic episodes, let's say.
Lindsay says, quote, "I was making myself sick."
I think there's a lot of pressure, especially when you lose a lot of weight and then people are telling you look great. Like, so did I look fat before?
I don't think she realized how skinny she was until she went on Saturday Night Live and she had this big talk with...
Yes, later we will reveal who sat Lindsay down and how it may have saved her life, along with candid personal revelations about her drug use. And the photo spread that Marilyn Monroe would be proud of. That is all coming up.
I just think of myself as like a normal kid, so...
7 years after the Parent Trap, that little girl has definitely grown up. Earlier, you heard how Lindsay Lohan is owning up to some big issues in her life, issues like drug use and eating disorders. Well, right now, it gets even more serious.
Unless you want this to be your future, you better take it down a notch. Don't say I didn't warn you.
SNL had fun with Lindsay's out-of-control lifestyle last May, but after the show, it was no laughing matter. And Vanity Fair, Lindsay says, quote, "I had people sit me down and say, 'You're going to die if you don't take care of yourself.'"
I don't think she realized how skinny she was until she went on Saturday Night Live and she had this big talk with Lorne Michaels and Tina Fey.
SNL executive producer Lorne Michaels, along with Tina Fey, also worked with Lindsay on the 2004 comedy Mean Girls. These are two people who know Lindsay well, so their words had an effect. Lindsay says, quote, "I just started bawling. I knew I had a problem and I couldn't admit it."
Am I happy 30 years from now?
I don't know. I'm from 2007.
Don't I?
Just last year at W Magazine, Lindsay said she was confronted by a doctor who asked, quote, "Are you anorexic? Are you making yourself throw up? Are drugs involved?" Lindsay responded by saying, quote, "Are you saying this because you've read it in the magazines? Because I don't." But now Lindsay admits to some drug use in Vanity Fair.
She did admit that she has done drugs, but when we really got into talking about specifics, she became extremely rattled about it. And it's obviously a very touchy subject for her.
Most likely because of the problem Lohan claims her father had with cocaine, saying, quote, "I don't want people to think that I've done that. You know what I mean? It's kind of a sore subject. I've lost a family member over it, practically." But Lindsay isn't just exposing herself with words in Vanity Fair. Lindsay does her best Marilyn and Bridget Bardot poses. Now, you would think these would be done on a private beach away from innocent eyes, but Maria found out differently.
I heard that there was like a little teenager that almost caught you, and it was like a scurry.
No, there was like a little 7-year-old boy that was walking with his mother down the beach, and she was like holding him and covering his eyes, and I was like, I can't do this. This is not okay. This is completely wrong.